Hi guys, hi everyone. Okay, now listen up. There's a very, very interesting program that I was watching here from Karangana TV. Like recently, I've been just loving to watch this program. They're in Shona, of course. So in this particular story here, I want to know, guys, how would you resolve it? If you were the chief, how were you going to resolve this issue? There's a family who have got two other children who are very, very sick. So maybe sort of spiritual things or whatever. So they sought some they sought some help from a traditional healer. Now they were charged two cows, and each cow was charged at 500 US dollars, which is 1,000 US dollars. So the family negotiated like, well, 1,000 is just too much. Please reduce the money for us. So they ended up in maybe reaching around 700, and then the family had to pay a certain amount of money. You know, the Nanga said, well, please give me a certain amount of money, so they paid for whatever they were doing, cleansing, thing with the Nanga, doing all this and that. However, along the way now, there was some misunderstanding, I should say, or whatever happened there. So the family doesn't want to pay this Nanga. They're saying there is no shame. The Nanga is saying, give me my money. So because of that misunderstanding, they had to go to the chief to resolve the issue. So they've been narrating their story to the chief. And let me know, guys, what do you think? If you were the chief, how were you going to resolve this issue? So let me just play for you just a short clip. Irin Shona clip here. So for those of you who don't understand, Shona, what I've explained is exactly what is being spoken about. So let's just listen.
chiwandi mwana anga asingaoni anga asatauri kuita akatanga kunaka zvisiri bramararia handiti anga asaoni anga asatauri anga asafani anga asisauka anga kuzvibatu asingaende kupi kutereki mwana uyu isisu tafamba mutakafamba wanamba mamwe mai kubekisaida ndo akadzosa mwana uyu kuti adumbu rake ridzite mwana uyu aende kutereki wamwewo mutaipinda ndo akapa mwana uyu kuti mazisa aone kuti nzeu idzi dzidini dzinzwe kuti mwana uyu adini futi afambe ndomwe waifamba kwambuya wesu sakaenda mwana uyu atakiri ndezi kuti mwana agesi atauri zvangori mbuya wakasvika pakutoti kati wakasvika mwana panoenda kuna mbuya mwana asikagesi asingatauri kuti kana kuti uyu anzi anga asingafa kuti mwana uyu aifamba mabeti avo aitosuka titoripo pamba ipapo zvese basa aiita ndichienda kutsvaga una isari aripo asi kuti mbuya vari kuya kuita zvinhu zvokudini manje zvokunyapa zvega zvega.
Okay, so you have heard the argument there. The family saying, well, these children, the way we brought them to you, Gogo, is the same way that they are. There's nothing that has changed on these kids. They're still not good. And Gogo is saying, well, I did what I did. The children were not eating. I made them to eat. The children were not able to walk properly. I made them to walk. So please just pay up my money. Okay, I need my money. The family is saying, we are not going to pay you anything. In fact, you are the one who should give us back the money that we paid you, because we paid you for something that you were not able to do. Okay. So now my question is, do you think Inganga deserves to be given back the money, or the family deserves to be given back the money? If you were in that situation where you had to resolve this issue, how were you going to resolve it? Okay. Now, one thing about Zimbabwe recently, you remember that the government said anyone who is a traditional healer, profit, or anything, you need to have a certificate. Okay, you need to be certified for you to be able to operate in Zimbabwe as a traditional healer. And of course, this woman, this Gogo, is a certified Sangoma. So she has a certificate, so she has a case, against these people, because spiritual things are very, very difficult to deal with usually. And also the fact that the one thing that I loved what the chief said is this. The chief said, I was not there. I don't know the condition of the children the first time they went to the Sangoma and how they are. So I don't know any improvement. So the two of you is just your word against their word. So the chief was unable to resolve this issue. He ended up referring them to the civil court, saying, "Well, because this is an issue of debt, debt collection, someone refusing to pay for a service and this and that. So maybe you need to go to a civil court to air your grievances from there. Maybe they're going to be able to resolve it for you, because here in the traditional courts it's very difficult, to deal with it, in the sense that we don't know if you did the service or you did not do the service. Okay. Now it's a very, very interesting scenario, because we have seen it so many times. But however, again, on another angle, you can look at it this way. When you go to the hospital to consult a doctor, the doctor will say, okay, you've got a headache, because of the symptoms that you've said. I've got a stomach ache, my eyes, my headache. The doctor will do the test, whatever the test that they can do, and they prescribe for you certain medicines for you to go and take, okay, at home. So usually we go at home, you start taking the pills, you start taking the medicine, but nothing happens. You don't get better, okay? You don't get better at all. In fact, the headache continues, the stomach ache continues, the toothache continues, but you would have paid the doctor for consultation and you would have paid for the medication and for the prescription. Now, the question is, if you find yourself not having become well after buying the medicine that the doctor prescribed for you or after consulting the doctor, would you go back to the doctor and say, well, you prescribed for me a medicine that didn't work, please give me back my money? I'm just giving it as a scenario, but I understand this situation whereby, as a family, you are struggling to raise money, for you, and then you take your kids to someone whom you understand is going to help you in the sense of the Sangoma. Then the Sangoma does what they do and the things don't work. Sometimes you are grieved for real. You'll be grieved. One, you're having a family, it's children who are sick. Two, you have lost money. Three, you feel like, well, I'm just giving my money for now. All those kind of stories. So if you listen to the whole of this story that is happening there are a lot of things that they mentioned. Papa, I did this, I did that. We were staying at my house, we were eating, we were doing this, and the family saying, well, indeed we stayed at your house, but we were buying food for you. We even left the groceries. And also the father saying, well, it's complicated. But it's very, very interesting to see some of the issues that affect our communities each and every day. I mean, we see these issues happening all the time because things to do, spiritual things, they are very difficult. They are very, very difficult. It's not something that you can see and handle. It's spiritual things. The way they do it, we may think like she did nothing. We might think like, the Sangoma really did nothing. But in fact, maybe she did something. Maybe she cast out some spells that could have seen these children dying. Or maybe she cast out some. You understand? So it's very, very complicated issue, especially for us who operate in the flesh. It's difficult. But yeah, this case was quite interesting. Let me just push for you a little bit to listen to what the chief said. Let's just listen. Let's see.
I agree with you. Zvinoitika. But I'm not saying ndo zvakadii zvakaita. It's your way. Yeah. Wait. Handisi kubhiliva mbuya ava. Handisi kubhiliva imimi. Ini ndikutaisa mabhili akaita chii? You lost your money. Muchida service yamakatadza kudii? One. Uyu ari kudawo mari yake yeservice yacho ndakadii? Ndakaita. Nyaya yenyu yaya yechikwereti nemushandiro. Mushandi nemushandiro. Ndizvo handizvo? Erai. Zvamakuita kubva kuno. Endai kucivil court. Moenda kucivil court. Monomhangarira awa. Kuti ndakawarapa. Asi hawana kundipa mari yani.
They don't want to give me my money, the balance.
Mune kodzero why? Because mapepa ekuti munobvumidzwa kuita zveurapi. Now, anokupai. Saka if you are not paid for service rendered, you have got that right. Kuenda kuomangara. Mwana mari yani. Because inini ndiri panapo dai. Dare rino harina jurisdiction. Yekuti ndikutaure kuti bhadhara kana kuti yosabhadhara.
Hapana ere zvamunogona
zvandotoita ndozvandokwazi. Izwai mbuya.
Ndina kurapa here.
Ambuya. Ndati inini
mwana. It's a really complicated situation. Very, very complicated. It's a very, very complicated situation because Gogo is insisting that I really did something to these children. They are okay. The family is saying, no, there is no change. And the chief is saying, well, I cannot rule on it because I was not there. I did not see the children when they went there, their condition, and I don't know after what happened. So I cannot really talk about it or give a judgment from this issue because Gogo wanted this issue to be resolved by the chief. Okay, unfortunately, the chief cannot do that. This is what he's saying. Like, I cannot go to the civil court. If you were the chief, or if you were the one who's going to be presiding over the case, maybe at the civil court, how were you going to resolve this particular issue? This is what I'm asking of you guys. Let me know what you think, guys. My name is Ziki, and I'll be back again. I'm really loving these stories that are happening. These days, I've been following all these stories that are happening in our communities. I think I should also be doing some reaction videos on them because they are very, very interesting. So usually when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I just play these videos and listen to what is happening, land disputes, marital problems, these kind of traditional things and everything else that happens in the chief's courts. Very, very interesting video. Until then, take care.